Howdy, Kinder Stores. It is Miss Jackson. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be our family job. And before we do the family job, I want to read a book that really reminds me of family. When I think of family, I think of love. And I got to tell you, love is a pretty complicated thing. And family can be a little complex too because not all of our families are all the same. That's what makes us all unique. Remember, that's one of our big words that I love to say out loud. It means it makes us so different, it makes us who we are. And what makes us up is all kinds of different things. Family is not always the same size. Some of our families are ginormous. Some of our families are quaint and they're tiny. We're not always wrapped up in the same type of wrapping or the same type of bow. Some of our families have bonus mommies and daddies where we get more people that love us. But those quaint families, they still have the same kind of love that wraps us around because one person can ooze a ton of love. Also, family doesn't always mean those are your brothers or your sisters. They're not always blood. Sometimes they're friends. Sometimes one of the best friends can do a lot for you, and that is part of your family because they love you. To love someone does not mean that you're actually their family member. To love someone means you care about them and you want to make sure that they are in the best situation possible. And us Kinderstars, as we become and we develop and we become really good friends and we become our Kinder family, you're going to realize you're going to want the best out of all of us and out of all of your friends. Your mommies and daddies want the best out of you. We want to give you so much love so that you can turn into the beautiful, amazing human being that you are going to be. So I'm going to share a story with you that's called, very fitting, Love. And this is written by Matt de la Pena. Mr. Pena wrote this book and he won an award for this book. Remember, the author is the person that writes all of the words, and these words are so special that someone gave him an award. This book is also illustrated by Lauren Long. Lauren Long is a wonderful illustrator, and she's won awards as well. Not for these illustrations, but you're going to realize why she's so talented. I love this book because Matt de la Pena dedicated this book to his mommy and his daddy because I bet they love him very much. In the beginning, there is light, and two wide-eyed figures are standing near the foot of your bed and they are staring at you with awe. And that is the sound of love. When you guys are first born, you're so tiny. You're so perfect. You're so amazing. All mommies and daddies want to do is hold you. They want to look at you. They want to talk to you. And the sound of their voice is the first sound that you hear. And that is the sound of love. A cab driver plays Love softly on his radio while you bounce in the back, bumping into the city, and everything smells new, and it smells like life. There's certain smells that will take you back into awesome memories. There's certain smells that I smell that make me think, oh my goodness, I'm looking at these people right here. There's a mommy walking their dog, and they went to see the hot dog man. And I can smell a hot dog right now. Can't you smell a hot dog? Doesn't that smell amazing? Hot dogs are one of my favorite things to eat. When I think of hot dogs, I think of baseball games. I think of really, really, really happy moments. And you know what? I want you to look really closely at this picture because I think this sweet little boy was getting a hot dog with his mommy. And we all know how delicious hot dogs are. And I think he's realizing that this man over here, he may need a hot dog more than he does. His tummy might be more hungry than his tummy because he's going to go home with his mommy. Whereas I'm not sure if he's going to end up going home with a mommy to take care of him. I think about the person, the story on the cab. Certain songs will take you back to certain memories in your life. As you guys get older, you're going to be like, that's my favorite song. And you're going to remember where you were when you heard that song. And you're going to be like, oh, do you remember when I was 8? I had a dance to that song. That's love. Those memories are building us and bringing us to the characters that we are and the beautiful humans that we are. Love, too, is the smell. The smell of crashing waves. It's the train that's whistling loudly by, going vroom, vroom. And each night, the sky above your trailer turns the color of love. Certain smells will take you back. Certain sounds will take you back. Speaking of trains, when we had to move to West Virginia, we found this beautiful house. I called it the layered cake house. It was a really high up house. And at the time, Parks was itty bitty and Grayson was itty bitty. And we just found out that Monroe was in my tummy. And I was like, this is the house. I love it here. It's going to be the best. Well, little did Mr. Jackson and I know that every day at 11 p.m., a train would by. We were very close to the train tracks, and it sounded like everything in our house was going to fall off the walls and break every single night. And I kept thinking, how is Parks going to sleep through this? How is Grayson going to sleep through this? How are we going to have a baby that's going to sleep through this? And they did. They sure did. I didn't sleep as much, but they did. I had nothing to worry about. But now whenever I hear a train, I think about little tiny Ro when she was just born. I think about how much I worried about the little guys and them falling asleep, but they were so little. And I remember all of them like it was yesterday. In a crowded concrete park, you toddle toward summer sprinklers. Nothing more fun than sprinklers. And with the older kids skipping rope, and they run up the slide, and soon you are running among them. And the echo of your laughter, those belly laughs of just pure fun, is love. We need to look closer at this picture, because everything about this picture was a, oh no, are you kidding me? But look at their faces. They're having the best time ever because they're making the best out of a really cruddy situation. Back over here, I see some firemen, and I have a feeling that fire hydrant went whoosh, and all the water just came pouring out. All the kids in the neighborhood are like, woo, let's go play in the water. Look a little closer too. This isn't a daddy. He might be a daddy, but he's not their daddy. That's a policeman, probably making sure that they're okay and they don't get hurt. But in the process, he's like, you know what? If you can't win them, you join them, right? So he's having the best time ever. This is a little bit less of a best time. On the night that the fire alarms went bleep, 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 you're pulled out of your bed from sleep. You are whisked out into the street where there is a stranger, a quiet old lady who's pointing up at the sky, and she's holding on to you while your parents are so sad. And she says, stars shine long after they've flamed out, she tells you. And they shine with love. At this moment, I know you don't understand. At this moment, can you imagine what it would feel like to see your house up in flames? All of your things, all of your house. And at the time, you're going to be so devastated, and you're going to be like, this is the worst thing ever. But you know what she's trying to tell you? It's not the worst thing ever, because you have your family. You made it out of your house. You can replace all your toys. You can replace all your things. You can replace your house. You can get a new house. But you cannot replace you. We cannot make another one of us. We are one of a kind. So sometimes when things seem so awful, and they're the worst, they're not always the worst. Sometimes you got to look a little bit farther. Think about how far those stars are. Sometimes you got to think about that. You got to be like, you know what? This is another one that's hard to read. It's not only stars that flame out that you discover. Sometimes it's your favorite season, like summer. It just fizzles out. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it's your friendship. And sometimes it's people. I want you to look at this picture right now. I want you to look at this picture right now, and I want you to think, sometimes this happens. Sometimes grown-ups, they're very complicated. Sometimes grown-ups get really sad, and they get really upset, okay? Especially when they love each other. And sometimes you're kind of stuck in the middle of that. And sometimes our mommies and daddies, they get really, really upset, and then they have to leave because they need a minute or they need a timeout, and that's okay. We're all humans. Sometimes we have to take a walk. Sometimes we have to take a deep breath. But these two humans love these two beings with all their hearts, no matter what happens. They will never, ever stop loving you. And sometimes the best people to give us a hug during the hardest times sometimes are our animals, our pets. They are just as much part of our family as the people that make it. One day, you find your family nervously huddled around the TV. You're wondering what is on, what's so important, and all they say is, shh, 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 I can't hear, shh, shh, shh. You're wondering what's happening, you're asking what's happening, but they don't answer you at all. And they shift between you and the screen. Especially this summer, there were some things that were happening on the news that were just out of this world astonishing. Things that you didn't understand. Things that you don't understand because you have such a big giving heart. There are things that happen in our world that are very, very scary. And sometimes, mommies and daddies and the grown-ups that care about us, sometimes we don't always have the words to express what's happening. Our world can be really crazy and really strange, but we don't always have the right words to tell you what's happening. And sometimes you just have to be okay with that. In your dream that night, because nobody was answering you, you were searching for love. You are searching for the love that seems lost, that seems gone. You open and you close the drawers, there's nothing. You lift up the cushions and the couch, there's nothing. You empty out your toy bins, you don't see anything. And you wake up crying. You wake up with a start. And you know who comes? Someone that loves you. They come in and they scoop you up and they rock you back and forth. And they bend down and they whisper and they say, it's okay. It's okay. That is love. When you feel safe, that's love. I know, as a teacher and a mommy, I always want you to feel safe. I want your families to make sure that you feel safe. They need to know that I will take care of you no matter what happens, just like they take care of you no matter what happens. And love is that time when you learn and you realize and you recognize a love that's overlooked. A love that wakes at dawn and rushes outside to catch the bus to go to work. And then there's love of that person that brings you a slice of burnt toast, but that burnt toast tastes like love. This page means a lot to me because our mommies and daddies and grandmas and grandpas, we work so hard. We work hard, and sometimes we have to wake up really early. Sometimes we have to stay really late so that we can go to work, so that we can make and do a really good job at work, so that we can have a house, so that we can pay for our air conditioning, so we can pay for food. And sometimes that comes with sacrifices. Your mommies and daddies want to always be home with you. They want to walk you to school. They want to take you to all the things, but sometimes they have to go to work. And you know what? Sometimes other people step up to the plate when they're at work. I know a lot of our mommies and daddies are at work, and our nanas and our grandmas and our grandpas and our papas, they're helping out, aren't they? They're picking up those pieces that they don't usually have to pick up to make sure that you are getting loved. Your families love your education. They want you to get smart. They want you to go to school. They want you to have fun with me. So they are moving mountains to do that. And I want to express this picture right here because some of you, this is a brother or a sister that is making breakfast for this little guy while their daddy goes out and works hard for their family. We come in all different shapes and sizes, and I know a lot of times with our brothers and sisters, we kind of take them for granted, but they do love you. And if they need to take care of you and step up to the plate, they will. They will, they will. And I love that they took the time to make sure that this little guy isn't going to go hungry when he goes to school. So I bet some of us have older brothers and sisters that help take care of us sometimes, help our mommies and daddies. And some of us might be the big brothers or sisters. And it's love in each deep crease of your grandpa's face as he lowers himself onto an overturned bucket of fish. I love this page because I know you should never say anything, but I bet some of our grandmas and grandpas do have a few creases in their skin, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm only going one direction, and you know what? I am so proud of all of the creases and the nooks and crannies because it means I've lived a lot. Every little crease I have means I've been smiling a lot. Every scar that I have means I am getting stronger because I overcame something that kind of hurt me. So our bumps and our bruises, all of that, it's part of what makes us us. Those are all of the reminders of all the great, great, great things that we've done in our life. You guys may only be 5 and 6 right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, the more we live, the more experiences we have, the radder life is. You're going to find out. The more you live, the more fun you have. And it's love in the rustling leaves of the gnarled trees lined behind the flower fields. Sometimes it's so nice to take a nap outside. It's love, even though your uncle tells the most made-up stories at the backyard barbecues while you're playing horseshoes. That bear was bigger than a big balloon. Hot air balloon. Oh, man. And the man who may not have the best looking clothes, ripped up jeans, might even smell a little bit at the subway station, who plays all those love notes that lift into the sky like tiny beacons of light. There's so many songs that I think about that I'm like, oh, that was my favorite song. And most important, and the face staring back in the bathroom mirror, this is love. When you look in a mirror, who do you see? You see you. You need to love you. You need to love everything about you. You need to love your nose. You need to love your lips. You need to love your eyes. You need to love your hair. You need to love that your ears aren't exactly the same. You need to love you. There's no one out there that's going to stick up for you other than you and mommies and daddies, but you. You are the boss of you. And you've got to love yourself so that you can feel amazing. The sooner you find out how amazing you are, the sooner you're going to feel super wonderful like a superhero. So, when the time comes for you to set off on your own, heavy winds will sweep past your building, and great gray clouds will congregate above. Your loved ones will stand there like puddles beneath their umbrellas, and they're going to be far from you. They're going to be holding you tight and kissing you and wishing you luck. But you won't be needing luck. You won't need luck, and it won't be luck that you're leaving with, because you are leaving with love. You will have love wherever you go. I always get a little teary-eyed at this part because it's so true. You're never alone. All the people that mean something to you in your life, whether they're your friends, your teachers, your mommies, your daddies, your cousins, your uncles, all that make up your family are people that love you, and they build that inside of you. Their love gets etched inside your body, making you an amazing human being, building you to be this wonderful creature that everybody wants to meet, that everybody wants to hang out with. And you don't need luck at all, because you are armed with all of their love. There's nothing stronger than love. There's nothing that's not going to make you feel better than love. And all that love that you were getting is love that you give out. I love this story so much. Like I said, it gets me a little bit woo. But let's do something fun. Let's find out more about our family. So the job that you're going to need is going to be a paperclip job that looks like a bunch of stripes on it. You're also going to have oodles of all of our rainbow color papers. And I moved some of my supplies because I got a little whoa, but I know it's going to be a-okay. You're also going to have a paper that has a cloud on it. So go ahead and cut that cloud out. And I really want you to, in the bestest handwriting you have, you're going to write your name there. I'm going to write my name, which is Mrs. Jackson. And I'm going to take my time writing all my letters. Just like that. Mrs. Jackson. And I'm going to set this aside. You are going to have all your rainbow colors. So you've got your Roy, red, orange, yellow. Then you're going to have your green, blue, and purples. And what I want you to do with this job, and this is a job that I have that is made for when I have 18 students in a class. Well, I wasn't going to cut all of these out for you because I really want you guys to do a lot of cutting because it's really good for your hands. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your red piece of paper and all these stripes, and you're going to tap, tap, tap. What I want you to do first is keep it at the edge of your paper, and you're going to walk your scissors all the way across here, just like so, all the way across. You do not need any more of these unless you want to make this job, unless your sissy wants to make your job. Let's say you have like oodles of brothers and sisters that are like, hey, I want to do this job. Or maybe your cousin wants to do this job. Or maybe your mom wants to do this job too. So you've got some extras in case you want to add some extras on there. But I'm going to put this in my scrap box because I don't want to waste that. I'm also done with my red sheet of paper. So I'm also going to put that in a very safe spot. Now, this part right here, I'm going to trim up just like so, all the way around, and I'm going to walk those scissors. I've been very impressed with our cutting skills because I've been doing a marvelous job with that. And I'm going to set these down and put that. This is actually not scrap Foxworthy. And this right here, and this is why it's nice to do this with your family because it'll help you read it. It says my age. So the first thing I want to do first is I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to put I've got a little bit of glue sponge here, and I am going to glue on my paper just like this. So I want to have a border, okay? And I've got to make sure I put a little bit of glue on the other side there. And I'm going to hold on to that for just a couple seconds. And I really, really, really want this to be my red rainbow. So I'm going to look in my crayon box here, and I'm going to search for my red. And this is actually not my crayon box, so I may not even have a red in here. So let's see. Oh, that looks like red. I found a red. Very loved red. And I'm going to very lightly shade in that part. So because it just needs to be light, because I am going to be writing something on there. And we just talked about what's going to be on there. The words on the top say my age. So this is how old you are. So however old you are is what you're going to write here. Okay? So I am not 5. I don't even know how old I am. I think I'm 37. So I'm going to write that number right on here. And I'm going to use pencil first. I always use pencil first. Then, when I know I put the right number, I am going to add that with my crayon, and I'm going to highlight it so it really pops out. Like, whoa, now I can really see it. Now, I didn't want you guys to sit and watch me do every single one of mine, but I will tell you, I colored in and already glued my orange, and this one says my siblings. I want to know how many brothers and sisters you have. I have one brother, so I'm going to put one brother, and then I'm going to highlight it just like so. Okay? My next is my favorite color. And we all know my favorite color is rainbow. Now, rainbow is a big word, right? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it this way so that I have enough room. But if you like the color red, it might be really easy for you to fit yours the other way. But we shall see. And I'm actually going to make my letters dark. And I'm going to do it in my rainbow colors. I'm going to skip yellow because you're not going to see yellow on yellow. That's not going to work. So then I will just grab some other fun colors. Oop, I forgot my green, my dark green, so I'm using light green. It's pretty light. That's okay. Everything is groovy. So there's my rainbow. Okay, so far I've got my age. I have how many siblings? Siblings is a fancy word for how many brothers and sisters do you have? Siblings. Then we have my favorite color. Mine's a rainbow. Oh, I have my green, which is my pet. I have loads of pets, so I'm going to probably have to put that on the side. I've got a dog named Athena. I have a cat named Maynard. I have a rabbit named Roberto. Well, those are all my animals. I used to have a lot more, but I've had animals like my whole life. So sadly, some of them are in heaven, and I still think of them. I still think of Conan all the time. My favorite food. Now remember, when you're sharing your favorite foods, you cannot yuck somebody's yum. I don't know if you remember what my favorite food is, but I love crab legs. I go crazy, 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 crazy for crab legs. They're my favorite. Yum, yum. I can always eat them. I could have a full dinner, and if somebody says, oh, let's go eat crab legs, I'll be like, I'm in. Sign me up. I actually am noticing that I have a repeat. And I don't know. Oh, Nope, it's not that one. What I want to be when I grow up. So for me, I'm already kind of what I want to be when I grow up. But especially when I read books like this, I think about, I would love to be an author. I would love to write a book. I would love for you guys to read a book and be like, this book was by Mrs. Jackson, and I would love for you, when you're grown-ups, to maybe read it to your kids or something really cool like that. So when I grow up, I mean, again, I'm already grown up, but I think what I would put is an author. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys want to be when you grow up. Some of us were even talking about what we are going to be when we grow up. Now, what you are going to do with this is you are just going to be attaching these the right way to your cloud. And so I am going to let you loose now because this is a pretty long video at this stage of the game. But I am going to, and I'm funny. I like to put things in rainbow order. It makes me feel more okay. So I'm going to go red. I'm going to put mine orange. I'm going to put my yellow. And it doesn't matter what color your age is or anything like that. As long as you just use all of the strips, as long as we know your age, as long as we know your siblings, and your favorite color, your favorite food, your pets, okay, and what you want to be when you grow up. That's all that I really am wanting to see. And we are going to share these together. So it's kind of like homework, but we will share these throughout all next week. I cannot wait to see your rainbows. I'm going to finish gluing mine together, and I'm going to take a picture of mine, and I will attach it to this video. Okay, guys? I appreciate you listening. I really hope you love the story, and feel free to listen to the story again, because like I said, it's kind of an important story. All right, my Kinder Stars, you have a great weekend. Have the best time with your family doing this job. Toodles.